In this video, we're going to be going over the top problems on the 7th generation Nissan Sentra. There's nothing wrong with this vehicle. There's nothing wrong with owning it or buying one. Every vehicle has problems. We're just going over the problems that we have found. Number 1, mass airflow sensor codes. You might get a check engine light. You scan it, you get a check engine light code for a mass airflow sensor. Mass airflow sensor is located right here. Now, just because you have a code for this sensor doesn't always mean that that's the problem. You definitely want to check the connector, wiggle the connector. There we go. Pull that off. Just make sure the terminals look okay. It's kind of hard to see, but you don't want to see any green in there or in there. They visually look okay. And also the wiring. See if the wiring's good. Everything looks good here. Right, to take this sensor out, you can use a 7mm socket or even a Phillips head screwdriver. Don't drop the bolts. And you can grab the sensor and just slide it straight up. And there it is. There's the old sensor. Now, you can replace this sensor. Sometimes you can clean it. They actually make special cleaner for mass airflow sensors. And in there, air goes in there, and it goes past a little sensor just like that. And reinstall it. Just slide it in place. Put the screws back in. And reconnect the connector. Lock it in place. So it's important that there's no debris on the actual mass airflow sensor. You want to make sure you change your air filter regularly. If it's excessively dirty, that can cause some problems with that. Also, clean your throttle body. That can cause some issues. The PCV system, if that's plugged up or not doing its job properly, that could cause a mass airflow sensor code. Also, there is a PCM update, which you're not going to be able to do from home. You're going to have to bring it to the dealer and have them reflash the PCM. Number 2, the CVT transmission. A lot of times there's some problems with these. You'll be going down the road and the vehicle will just stall on you, or when you go to drive or reverse, the vehicle won't even move. You'll hear a noise coming from the transmission itself. There's not much you can do. You can have it rebuilt, or you can go get it replaced. That's as much you can really do. It's a good idea to always have the fluid changed on a regular basis. You can drain the fluid there and top it off up top. You could always end up with a transmission speed sensor code. There is multiple speed sensors that are replaceable. There's one in the front up here. There's a sensor right there. There's another sensor right here. And there's another speed sensor up top here. So make sure all your wiring and connectors are good and make sure your fluid is up to par. Number 3, front struts. A lot of times these struts go bad. You're gonna get either a banging noise or you'll see some fluid coming out of here. Going over bumps, the front of the vehicle may go up and down. It might be like riding in a boat. So that's a pretty good problem. Sometimes the upper strut mounts make noise and stuff when turning back and forth. So it's a pretty easy job, not too difficult. We sell these full assemblies. You just pull the wheel off, take the sway bar link off, take the bolts out, take the upper strut mount bolts out, reinstall the same way you took it out. Number 4, ABS codes with a wheel speed sensor code. You may have a problem with one of the wheel speed sensors. I guess the right rear is the most common for the failure, but the wheel speed sensor wire is right here. You can look at the wire, make sure it's not cut at all. Check right here, pull that out. Take this 10mm bolt out right here, and then you slide the sensor right out and disconnect it over here, right here on the frame of the vehicle, right next to the gas tank. Now, if you have a scan tool that can scan ABS conditions, what you can do is turn the wheel while the wheel's up in the air and see if you can monitor the speed going up or down. You can also swap these sensors side to side. It's kind of a lot of work to do, but that would tell you if the sensor's bad, check that. Also, always check your connections and your wiring. Number 5, the ignition coils, which they're located under here. Just grab this cover, pull it up. It may be kind of tricky to pull up in the back. Slide it right up. There's some tabs right there and there. And the coils are located right here. To replace them, just disconnect the connector right here. Take that 10mm bolt up, slide the coil right out, put the new one in, good to go. It's always good to replace the spark plug when you're doing the coils anyway. If you're getting in there, just put new plugs in it. One of the symptoms you're gonna get when you have bad coils, your engine's gonna run rough, it'll shake a lot, and you'll end up with a misfire. You may even end up with a check engine light with a P300 or even a flashing check engine light. So if you need to replace those coils, it's not that hard of a job. Good to go. So there's some of the problems that we have found with this Nissan Sentra 7th generation. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you ring that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our videos.